Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 18th installment of the State of FEH Podcast. I'm your host, DTM, and I'm joined with Oblivion Knight and Joel from Phaeology, as always. How are you two doing this fine evening?
Not too bad, not too bad.
I normally try to come up with something snarky here, but it's CYL season.
Yes.
I mean, that's amazing.
Yes.
I am totally excited. I'm a little bummed. I was just reviewing everything, and I went back to look at just to make sure in my head I had exactly who the winners were, because something happens when you're recording. Like knowledge leaks out of your head.
Yes.
And it had the top vote getters. And the last one there was Felix. And I was like, wait, what? But I had that just split second. I was like, oh, yeah. No. That's not the way it went. So,
Joel. First you make the top worst video with Felix. Now you're doing this.
Yes. Joel's just beating Oblivion down while he's down. For one moment, he had the glimpse of Oblivion's utopia, and then it just got dashed.
Joe's on a high right now. He's like, legendary Seliph are fine. Now I gotta kick Oblivion while he's down.
Yep.
Hey, I wanted Felix to win CYL. I did.
Yeah. And now, Ike is now the worst legendary again. It's not a good time.
He's not. He is not the worst legendary.
Who would you say is the worst legendary right now? Would it be like Ryoma?
Grima, maybe? Grima, probably, or Ryoma.
I can see Grima. Yeah.
Because Grima can't use Guard Bearing 4, which is like the big reason why melee flyers are good now.
Right. Yeah. Those skills have definitely shaken things up. But I think we need to address the elephant in the room right now. IS has introduced all of the FEH players' worst nightmares. We have the variable Y now in the game. This is the apocalypse, folks. Everyone, we need to uninstall right now. No. Yes.
But
go ahead.
Did you know it had already been introduced?
Yep.
It was in like a healing skill. I didn't know this. Someone had to post this on Twitter.
Really?
I was the same type of panic. Yeah. Is it Martyr or something? I don't know. But that's...
Yeah.
Wait. Hold on. Give me a second.
It's one of them like that. I think it is Martyr. It's like, no one uses it though, so no one cares.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
You're right.
You're right. Wow. Okay, I guess we are already in the apocalypse. This is the post-apocalypse phase right now.
We're waiting for Z now.
Yes.
Martyr was the prophecy, and then the apocalypse is this new thing. That's
back in 2017 or 2018. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's talk about it, because obviously this T banner, we've got a very interesting units, I guess to say. Obviously, we have Lysithea with that preference A, with the Y and all that true damage. We also had Eitr and Sigurd, and some other units that unfortunately are pretty generic, you know? They're demotes, I guess. What can we expect from IS nowadays? But yeah, I guess we can get started on Lysithea. I know I've seen a lot of those videos where it's a level 1 Lysithea dealing just a huge amount of true damage with the buffs and debuffs that she can provide. But I guess to start, what is your current experience either using her or facing against her? Or have you even seen her in the various competitive modes?
Well, this is the lost banner, right? Every year, this is the banner that no one summons on. So these units will never see the light of day. Like that's the big thing. Is Lysithea the best nuke in the game? I mean, she's in the argument for it. She puts out a lot of damage.
She does, but she's missing the key factor, right? The one thing that holds the nuke back, which is DR piercing or having. You need it so badly.
Right, and that is one of the main weaknesses of flying mages these days, since they don't have a mage special and they can't run magic no follow-up. And so obviously they can't get through damage reduction, which really does do a number on a lot of nukes and how most tanks survive these days.
Yeah.
Don't they all kind of follow this pattern though? Like Lysithea is really good, but is she good enough that I want to replace some other unit with her.
Right.
Like, is she worth the orbs right now? I feel the same way about Eitr. I feel the same way about Sigurd. I just, I'm not, nothing tells me that I need to put orbs into this when CYL's just around the corner.
This is a completely different conversation. I don't want to derail us. But I'll just say, like, right now, I think this whole year I've kind of been in that mood where I'm like, do I really need to replace my far save? Do I really need to replace my nuke? And instead, I've been just upgrading skills, and it feels really nice to see your favorite just get a new like coat of paint essentially, and just get to destroy some stuff. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Honestly,
I think that's. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was about to just say I agree. Right, like we've gotten all these like new units, and they're really really cool, but they're not really that necessary at all. Like the only things that are necessary are skills. And we've talked about this before. This is like sort of like the new direction that IS has sort of been pushing. Like we have all these new skills that we can help upgrade either already good units or our favorite units that, you know, just need that extra bump.
And this is why rearmed units are so powerful right now. Is they give us these skills on banners that we'll never see again, or you know what I'm saying. But it'll be 6 months. They're very sparing. They're very limited. But we can put this on a unit that we're going to have and give it to more of our favorites. And that's that's the amazing thing about them. Now, I will not agree with Oblivion that this is a cost-effective solution. But we're talking about putting these on favorite units. We don't talk about cost when we're doing that.
Nope, not at all. Don't know what you're talking about. Didn't summon Force 3 Ingrids because of my faves. But no, I just want to reiterate because it seems so like the time before rearms seems so foreign to us nowadays. Like, can you imagine not having those types of units before? Like, genuinely, like, I think it's either one of, if not like the best decisions IS have ever made in terms of like the game, I'd say.
It's up there. It's up there with like skill inheritance.
And the Spark.
Skill inheritance, and combat manuals are like the top.
Yes.
For me. Combat manuals changed the game, because before, like, it was literally just you sat there and you're like, okay, what unit is dying today so I can summon more?
Oh, so painful. So painful.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess sort of to like circle back to our original topic. All these units in the T banner, you know, they're interesting. Like we had Sigurd with Chivalric Aura and Eitr with a pseudo special cooldown -2 or like slaying 2.
Right.
Except not really. But like, I don't know. I feel like they don't really do much when it comes to like shifting the meta or like requiring responses or anything.
I think it's
like,
just
is that your same take?
Yeah, I think they're like in the same vein as many other characters we already have. And so like, while even if they are the best of their category, which I'm not saying they are, but even if they are, like, it's not such a big difference that like you can't just use your ult. And I think that's kind of the thing I've been feeling all year. Just like, I think the best example is Bridal Tiki, right? Bridal Tiki is probably the best far save in the game right now. Like, I don't think that's like a big argument, but I don't think she's such a big margin above every other far save that I feel like I need to like drop my current far save and like get Bridal Tiki. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, okay, she's a little bit better than Fomortis. Okay, that's fine. I'm just gonna keep upgrading Fomortis because I like him better. Like, it's, I don't know. To me, it's just not that big of a deal, and that's kind of how I've been feeling for a lot of units.
Oblivion, you had to pick that unit. Like, of all the units, that is the one that I would disagree with you on.
I don't think she's like she's good, but like Bridal Tiki still dies to a quad. That's the thing, right? Like, if you throw a quad her, she's still dying in most situations. And so I'm just like, okay.
She's the most likely to live, but a lot of that comes to like the modes we like most. Like I'm really big into building defenses, and she is amazing on ARD. Like that's huge.
Yeah, unfortunately, you have me and DTM in this podcast with you, and we're both very lazy ARD builders. I'm
no,
like, hey,
don't
should
worry.
I upgrade this?
I finally upgraded my Anima defense after, I want to say, like, a year. Yeah. I've finally done it. I'm completely revamping Eitr rates, no longer being super lazy Ninja Force after 3 years. I'm, like, doing a whole revamp. Not really a whole revamp, but, like, actually, like, changing stuff now.
Wait. If you're not doing Ninja Force, what are you doing? Like, are you going to start interning?
I'm still using Ninja Force.
I was about to say that.
Oh.
It's just that I have other teams besides Ninja Force now. Granted, like 9 out of 10 times I'll use Ninja Force, but just in case, I'll have a different team.
DTM's like, now I only have 2 Ninja Force teams instead of 4. Like, it's a big change.
Yep. I mean,
Oh, man.
I'll be the first to say, like, the fact that you can Ninja Force things after, like, 3 years now, like, that should not happen. Like, really, realistically.
No. What? No, it should happen. That's how everything should be. I hate when I'm talking to people and, like, they're like, oh, yeah, Aaliyah's cool. And I'm like, what's wrong with Aaliyah? And they're like, well, she's kind of old now. And I'm like, she's, like, 6 months old. Like, what the hell?
Aaliyah is still good. Aaliyah's still really good.
She is, but that's always the thing. Like, you'll hear people say, like, she's very good. But, and there's always that but, like, oh, she's kind of old now, right? Like, time to retire, grandma. Like, stop. Like, just let these units live for more than a year.
Well, Oblivion, you heard it here. I mean, DTM wants more power creep. That's what he asked for. I mean, he should not be able to use.
Actually, you're completely right. DTM did ask for more power creep. I'm watching his, was it your refined video? Or which video was it? No, it was your CYL video. And you're like, you know what? Healers need a flash special. And I'm like, this guy is the devil. What is he asking for?
Okay, but like a flash special would actually be such a good thing for like so many healers, right? Like it would just be amazing for them.
Yeah, at the expense of everybody else.
Who cares about everyone else? It's only about what I want, clearly.
Yeah, wait till they release Lucina and she's amazing, but she's weak to Flash, and you're like, why did this happen? And I'm like, you did this to yourself.
Don't worry, Gatekeeper's Refined will be like on guard, as we were always going to talk about, and I will eat my words, like 100%.
Karma.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess, to, I guess, round out this, we went really off topic here, but it's fine.
We did.
Yeah, T-Banner, I think we all agree, like, it's cool and all, still not exactly a must summon, especially with CYL around the corner.
Yep.
Sigurd, pretty slow, don't know exactly how we feel about him right now.
I think it'd be fun, though. I think Sigurd could be really
definitely fun. Yeah,
well, but here's why Sigurd isn't as powerful, though, is Guidance 4. I mean, that's really it. You can move around the map so much more freely now that you don't need the Sigurd shenanigans.
I think that's like a whole conversation in itself. Why I think Cavalry are actually the worst like movement type in the game right now, like by a large margin. And it's because Cavalry, the only thing they have, right, their big claim to fame is mobility. And then Flyers show up with Guidance 4 and Sword and Guidance and are like, what's up? We just stole your niche, and it's better. Like, it's like, okay, well, goodbye, horses. Get out of here. We don't need you anymore.
And they did it after nerfing them for so long with trenches and trees. And I mean, they've been really, really nerfing them. And then they give Flyers just free reign.
Yep.
Right.
I do think Cavs have a place still, but it's just not as big as it was, right? Like, if we compare it to, like, I don't know, like a little bit like last year, right? Self was just like showing up and you're like, oh man, Self is scary. Now it's like Self is still scary, definitely, but like, man, Guidance 4 is so good. Do I really want to use Self? I'd rather use a Catchery Ball.
I think Seliph has fallen off huge. I didn't even realize it until someone commented, and I started actually doing Sims. It's crazy to me. But anyway, I got
a lot of those comments too, where like when I did my CYL tier list, I got a lot of comments saying that Seliph has definitely fallen off from what he was currently. And at first I was like very much in disagreement because I still really can't deal with those Seliph teams. It's something like SD. But like after I thought about it, if you had like, you know, actually non-F2P resources in something like Summer's Duels, with like either a good frontline or like Canto control or something like that. Like, yeah, Seliph, especially with the maps that we've gotten recently in SD, Seliph is definitely far from his peak. And he's still very annoying, and I will still insta-ban him. But yeah. Guidance 4 is just too popular, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And we have frontliners who can handle him now to an extent, right? Like,
yes,
he can't really like run into all the mess like he used to be able to. I still think that like dual dagger Congo lines have a very like important part of the meta, and like in the tournament videos that will be coming out eventually, whenever I get them done, you will see that they rise in prevalence as they can counter certain strategies because they're so aggressive. But they are very like one-dimensional in a sense, I guess is the way I'd put it.
Yeah,
they lack consistency. That's the biggest thing. When they work, though, God, they're so amazing.
Right.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I think Adara said that like if you don't have like guidance 4 on like or any soaring guidance 4 fodder, like your best bet would to be just try to cheese it with Brave Seliph and those like cap rush down teams.
Yep. Definitely.
Which I think
just running AoE Summer Ephraim actually, which is interesting.
Yes.
I never really thought of that. Like, as you go in, you AoE, they hit you once, but then you like hit them twice. Like, not many things are gonna live in AoE and 2 hits.
I'll be honest, I haven't seen any Summer Ephraims as of yet late, but I do know like with his extra movement, he can be like a force to be reckoned with.
It's still at the higher tiers is what I've noticed. Like, I've been talking to like the really competitive players, like you know, like the players who are like rank 1 but they're bored, so they're still trying to get better. Those players, and they're like, yeah, Ephraim's like secretly like super good. Like, they've been throwing out Seliph for Ephraim.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Yeah, like sure, like I don't think we need to say like extra movement is still good, right? Like,
yeah.
It's just not as good as what it once been, which I think is also why like the reception towards like Eitr has also sort of like been muted, because normally like you think, oh, the harmonic skill gives extra movement to everyone. That is so amazing. But then one, you realize that we're in a guidance 4 meta, and also 2, you realize that Eitr only applies that to like genealogy and 3 houses units, and there's not a lot of units that can take advantage of that from those titles. Right. Like Brave Seliph obviously already has extra movement. I think obviously you can do it with like Legendary Shez or Summer Shamir, but there's actually a surprising lack of like 3 houses units in the current meta, besides Shez, of course.
Have you guys seen the speed Legendary Seliph build?
Wait, what?
This is the thing.
Are you Satoshi as an imposter right now?
So I believe it was Rayuna. Rayuna has a speed Legendary Seliph, and it does damage. It kills everything. It kills Bridal Tiki. And I'm like, where did this come from?
Wait.
Yeah.
What?
No, it's weird. It's so weird. I have to send you one of the replays. It's like the secret tech. It's the secret sauce no one knows about yet.
All right, definitely DM me that. That sounds like the I don't know, speed Summer Edelgard I saw Satoshi do that beat out Bjorn.
The problem I always have with those, I love the meme things where he throws up there, but I always look at that like, she outsped Fjorm, but what were the circumstances there? I mean, how much did you have to debuff that unit? That being said, so honestly, whenever you say AoE and then you add anything on there and say they're good, I'm like, well, yeah, AoE is kind of a cheat. You know, if you had to go through that much effort, I'm not just absolutely impressed. Seliph though, I cannot believe that unit. Honest to God, I am so impressed. I want to build speed Seliph now. That is.
Oh, you mean Leif? Leisure Leif? Yeah. Speed Leif.
Oh, Speed Leif. Yeah.
Did I say Seliph? I meant.
Yeah, you said Seliph.
Oh, I meant Legendary Leif. I'm sorry. Speed Legendary Leif. I don't know why I said. Okay. I got Seliph on the brain lately. I've been doing so much testing.
Oh, now now I want to build speed Leaf or speed Seliph.
So now you've brought that idea into our head.
Sorry. No, that's Seliph. Leaf.
So if y'all see Joel with a speed Seliph in the future, we all know who to blame now.
Yeah. My bad.
But yeah, legendary Seliph. Oh, go ahead.
You guys will laugh when I change his IVs too. That's
yeah, legendary Seliph I think has gotten literally one of the best 0 to hero refines and remixes I've ever seen. Because like, obviously, as you know, Joel, like Seliph was really, really bad before his remix and refine, but now he's cooking, like for sure.
Literally the worst legendary in the game.
Yeah.
All right, summoners, listen. You've got to understand like how bad this sunk. I had a tier list, and at one point I think I had him one space above Ike, and an Oblivion, like we're in our chat, and he's like, Joel, I mean, I got beef with you here. Ike is better than Seliph. I was like, no, you're right. Bumped him down one. I mean, it was really bad. And now he rises from the ashes just in time to get pummeled by CYL units. But that's okay. We'll have a few good weeks.
Hopefully not. We'll see. But I'm working on Omni Tank tier list, and I will tell you. I'm not gonna tell you where I put Seliph. I don't want to ruin the surprise. But Seliph was at the bottom of the lowest tier, literally. So he is skyrocketed. I will just tell you that much. He is skyrocketed past so many units. I've been doing sims on him for like 3 hours last night, and this unit is so impressive. Like, it's actually ridiculous.
So I won't ask to like rank among the Omni Tanks because obviously that's in a future video. But where would you rank Seliph now among the Earth legendaries? Like, would you say like he's? Oh, go ahead.
For what game mode? Or for all the game modes?
For all game modes, but I guess like if you want to narrow it down, it could be like Arena or like Summoner's Duels, I guess.
Remember all those.
Okay. Summoner Duels, I mean, this isn't really a Summoner Duels unit until I build my speed one. I mean, then
you are very wrong, Joel. You are. Oh my gosh, have you been playing? Legendary Seliph has been showing up in SD. Now, is he like ridiculously like the best unit? No, but he can act as a wall. He can't kill anything, but he can just sit there and plug a hole. And he's like, no, stop it. You can't get past me. It's really, really annoying to deal with. So he's actually not terrible.
I've seen these units before, though. And the problem is annoying is not good enough to take up a spot in most teams. Although it is SDS season. So, I mean, you're probably right. For SDS, it's all good. But
not SDR. Definitely not.
All right. I had to pull up the legendaries as well. Oh God.
Yeah.
Okay. He's not above Robin. He can't be above Robin. No, like Robin is universally just absolutely meta changing.
Robin's number one.
I have him above Nana though.
Really?
I don't agree with your tier list though.
Okay. Oh, I didn't put it up there for you to agree with the tiers. Just to see all the units.
Yeah.
For me, I think Seliph is probably second or third. That's probably where I put him at.
I'd probably put him, probably around third-ish. Like, I think I still like Nana just due to the way she gets through damage reduction, and I do like Olm as well, just because he's one of my primary nukes in SD. But like, Seliph, going from all the way to the bottom to like, what, top 3, top 5 at the worst amongst our ratings, like, that is insane.
He's at least, at the worst, he's fourth, which I don't think he is. I think he's probably third.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like, personally, I don't have Nana quite as high in my tier list. I think she's really good, but she can suffer to speed just because speed is so ridiculous nowadays. That's like
that is very true. For a while I had heavy blade on her to make sure that she procced Ruptured Sky. You can't do that anymore. She needs absolutely every bit of speed she can get.
Yeah, speed creeps insane.
It's so sad that Cavs can't get like Flashing Blade. I know I've ranted about this so many times.
Yeah.
Because you know who would really like to use Flashing Blade with their new refine and remix? Freyja. Like, all the skills and Phantom Speed and everything would have been so good if she could have learned Flashing Blade or like inherited or like have it as a seal.
And there's like no reason why Flashing Sparrow couldn't have been, right? Because it has the requirement of Flashing Blade 3 or Swift Sparrow 2. So they could have just done either one, right? They didn't have to make it so that it was only infantry,
right?
And armored or whatever. It's just so stupid.
Right.
Because it would have literally made Freyja like way better, like significantly better.
To everyone listening, and I think I speak for all of us, we're not saying that Freyja isn't usable. Like, there are a lot of things. I have heard her compared to Reagan quite a few times, and I think she can actually perform that role very well. Like, pot retrieval. I've seen like getting clean up to units. I think you can still use her plenty. It just I don't think that any of us think she can be a decent Omni tank, which is what that refine kind of lays out. And I think she is not great at Gale Force, although you could probably force it.
No, she's bad at Gale Force. She's pretty bad.
I mean, you can make her good at Gale Force like you can make any unit good at Gale Force. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
We have a light tier list. I don't know. I need to see the light heroes. I think she's still the worst light mythic.
Yeah, I've got it.
Let me see. I mean, what's the other options? It's like Uller, I guess. Potentially.
It's either her or yeah. I think Uller might be a little bit worse than her, but I pick Uller over her just because Uller actually does stuff. Yeah.
I wouldn't move her. Like I think she's still the same.
Yeah, I think she's the worst light mythic. I got so much hate for this. The amount of comments on my video talking about how I'm a hater. I was a little bit hyperbolic with how bad her refine was, but like I was just so underwhelmed. Like it's just so bad. And I've seen so many people make excuses for her, like, well, you can like put Wings of Mercy on her. Well, I'm like, then you lose anti-guard because it's in her B slot. So then she's even a worse Gale Forcer. Yeah. And then if you put Heavy Blade in her A slot, she's missing attack, which makes it hard to hit the actual check. And if you put it in her Steel slot, it's the same thing. So like, and then if you want to use her as an initiator, right? Like it's just all bad. She's just so bad. She's just terrible. She's so terrible. I don't know how anyone can justify this refine being good. Like literally, Seliph in his base weapon got like a whole refine, and then he got another refine. He got like 2 refines essentially, and then there's freaking Freyja who got +4 to all stats. Like really, that's what she gets for her base weapon upgrade? Like come on, guys. It's okay. I get it. I'm a Legendary Ike fan. I have been there. I've experienced the worst. You just have to admit it first. First step, admitting it, and then after that you can overcome it. Freyja sucks. Let's be real.
I love that nothing makes you more angry than a bad refine. Like it just rankles you. It really cracks me up.
It just doesn't make sense. I see so many people coming to her defense, like, no, she's still good. And I'm like, no, she's not, guys. It's okay. Like you've experienced it with Sothis. Freyja is the Sothis of 2023, right? That's just how it is. The difference is that there's been so much power creep that instead of just getting anti-guard, she got a few more stats as well, which is, a big win. Like, take it, guys. Take your win when you can get it.
Okay, she is better than the Sothis refine. Let's not go that far.
But there's been power creep since then, right? So we have to adjust for inflation.
Well, the problem is Sothis is the complete wrong role for what they're trying to put her in. Like they tried to make her a better Omni tank as a defense mythic. It made no sense.
Right.
Whereas Freyja can still do the whole the Reagan role, and there is use for her.
Sure.
It's just sure. We talked about the rankings. Like she's the worst light mythic, but you can still use her. Mythics are good.
Yeah, and like if you have like a +10 Freyja, like you can definitely like make her work and still have value about it. Like all mythics at the end of the day like can provide value, even the absolute worst ones. But it's definitely not ideal, and I think Freyja definitely deserves better. Like if she just had special acceleration in her refine, she would have been so much better. Like if she could run Flashing Blade, she would have been so. There's we could speculate all we want, but this is what IS has decided to give her, which is really unfortunate. Although Joel,
during bonus season, she's like kind of okay because she gets so much extra. She gets 10 extra HP, right, and extra stats. It kind of fixes the fact that she's missing mystic buffs, but it's still not enough. Like the problem with her is like she does okay in Sims until you add in any type of damage reduction, piercing. The second that happens, she just explodes. Like she just turns into pieces, and everybody's eating goat for like dinner. So like I think that's just that's the problem.
Joel, I think it's not that Oblivion like dislikes bad refines. He dislikes bad refines that people defend, and now he's on this tirade now.
I had to experience Ross last month.
I know.
I had to come to terms with that.
I was kind of trying to humanize him, and then he just kept on going like full heel. So
yeah, I was like, is this going to keep going? What's this?
I'm the type of person where like I will tell you the truth, and I will make sure that you know, even if it hurts. That's just how it is. And if that means I'm a bad person, I'm okay with that. I can go to sleep at night knowing I piss people off. I'm completely okay with that.
I respect that so much.
You are the person I want in the morning when I ask, hey, does this look okay? My wife is legitimately terrible about this. Like, it is, yeah. Oh, anyway, the whole other conversation there. We won't go down
I was thinking something similar.
Anyway.
We're probably going to get some weird fan fiction now. I don't know what this is.
Oh, gosh. Anyways, those two were not the only remixes and refines. We also got some other really spicy ones, like Echidna getting Omni Unity as a demote axe, like having like the same effect as like Fallen Ike, without the DC of course, but like in a season where we're just like Unity stacking to Oblivion right now. Yep. So how do you feel about Echidna being the victor against Ross Oblivion?
I'm so salty. I'm so ridiculously salty. In my video, I called myself a salty little bitch, which then everybody was like, I'm going to clip this and put it in stuff. And Infantry post like, yeah, I need to put this in videos. I'm like, stop. Why did I say that?
Well, now we have a second clip. Enjoy.
Yeah,
folks.
now we have great. Awesome. But yeah, I'm pretty mad. I feel like they did Ross they did Ross so dirty, and they give Echidna like this god tier refine. Like the only thing Echidna really needs is slaying. If she had slaying in that refine, it would be like literally she'd be one of the best Omni tanks. Like not the very best, but she'd be like right below meta tier essentially, just with slaying. That's all she needs. So like it's so good. It's so ridiculously good.
Let's just talk about TTM for a second. He's like, all right, we're going to move along. We're going to calm it down. Hey, Oblivion, what do you think about Ross? And Echidna.
Inciting my anger.
Whoosh.
I mean, we got to keep the content flowing, you know? Yeah. It's all about the content.
TTM's going to like put the tile. Oblivion goes crazy on this podcast.
Fallen Oblivion is here.
Yep.
Oh, man. Who else got refines? It was actually a decent batch. Like it wasn't bad.
Yeah, Mareeta got a refine that I thought was also really good.
Yeah. I think people are sleeping on that. I saw so many people like, this isn't that great. I'm like, she has everything she needs really. Like she has, DR piercing. She has speed-based true damage, anti-guard, right? Slaying already and NFU. Like she's pretty set. Like she's very, very strong.
I think
nice.
Yeah, I mean, I think the reason why it sort of fell under the radar is because, I mean, she is a Red Sword infantry, and so, like, I think people are kind of sick of Red Sword. Well, I wouldn't say kind of. They definitely are very sick of Red Sword infantries. And Mareeta, even though like she did get like a really good refine, she was like the OG God Sword back in the day, and now she's like the same role but better. And yeah, that's really cool, but it's not like as wild as say like Echidna, just as a demo, just getting like Omni Unity and everything, right?
Right. No, yeah, I definitely agree. I think the funny thing is that, like she's probably better than Ascended Mareeta now, which is like
honestly probably.
Yeah, I need to do the Sims for her, but yeah, she's. And the thing is, a lot of people probably have her at +10 just from like randomly getting her too. So that's really nice. Speaking
of Red Sword infantry units, we did get the hypothesized after 3,000 years, the Engage banner finally in the game. Yes. Let's go. Yes. And that also featured a quote-unquote Red Sword infantry in the form of Diamant, who has a very unique effect that I was super excited about initially. How do you all think it panned out overall, though?
He is a good Omni tank, but he's not a great Omni tank. He's solid, but he requires investment and he requires support, right? That's where he's pretty much at. Like by himself, I don't think he can perform all that well. The thing is, right, is like with Omni tanks, the reason why Omni tanks were able to come back in the meta is because you could stack damage reduction. Really, that's the thing that brought them back, right? Battle Astra, Speed Smoke 4, better B skills. All those upgrades over time are what made Omni tanks like so powerful now. And then Diamant was like, hey, I don't need damage reduction. I'm going to trade that away for DR piercing. And as an Omni tank, that's a very bad trade. So I think that's definitely what hurts him the most. Also, his speed stat is like very middling. So you really have to invest into speed to make him actually have his gimmick work.
I thought about putting him in the top 5 worst.
Really?
What if Joel just made all top 5 my favorite characters? Yeah. My favorite characters. We got Felix, we got Victor PK, Diamant. Let's find Dual Ike. He didn't come out this year, but let's just throw him in there too.
Here's the thing. I mean, everyone was so excited when he came out, and it looked like such a neat effect. But they went light on speed, and I think I heard that in all of our all of our reactions. Like it depends on his stats. Like what is his speed going to be, and it's middling. The big thing I think is that we were expecting him to be an Omni tank, and he was designed as a melee frontliner. And those are two very different roles. You can use him on ARD, and he does some ridiculous things. Is it enough to take up a slot? That's up to your team comp, but he's very interesting there. I think he can be interesting in SD for that same role that we're talking about with Legendary Seliph, where he's just a wall that you try to get around. I've been stonewalled by him in Summoner duels. Yeah.
My problem was that he was actually fragile. Like I ran into him. I ran into a plus 10 Diamant, and I just murdered him. And then I talked to the person that actually messaged me after, like, "Hey, how did you kill him?" And I'm just like, "Well, he doesn't have like really like good defense. I just gotta. He has good defense. He doesn't have like good damage reduction. Like I think people see flat damage reduction and they're like, this is broken because like every time it's appeared, it's been broken. But the thing is that there's always supporting effects attached to that flat damage reduction. When you actually look at flat DR, it's not that much like actual damage reduction, right? It's like you're getting like minus 10 damage, right? Like it's flat. But when you have percentages, right, it's like however much damage you're doing, it's getting a percentage of that removed. So you really need both. And that's why, Brave Dimitri works and like Spring Maria and stuff. And when you get to, Diamant, he has it, but like minus 12 isn't that much when you're getting hit for like 40 because your resistance is trash. You know what I mean?
Flat DR is like icing on the cake. It can't work on its own. But like you said, in the right kit, I mean, we've seen how good it is.
Yes.
But anyway, I still think as a melee frontliner, he can do some absolutely amazing things. The ones I ran up against some very good Diamant teams. It was like the day after he came out. And some of these folks were they were going like full on support with Citrinne and every other kind of crazy thing. Like these were very good players, and I was just embarrassed. So... Right. Yeah, what do you do? But yeah, I think he has a role. I just don't think it's as an Omni tank. I'm even playing with him on his bonus season and just testing him out against different teams. I am not impressed. I mean, you know who really just absolutely destroys him? Freyr.
Yeah. Freyr's
no kidding.
Bulky.
Yeah, very.
I didn't see that one coming.
Freyr's annoying. I don't. Speaking of Freyr, right? Freyr is annoying. He's just like so bulky and just sits there, and I'm like, okay, you know what? You're like a real goat. You're just getting in the way. Like, go away, shoot. No one likes you. And then he's also like hard counters Elamine, which is a completely different conversation. But man, I hate hard counters. Give me a soft counter. Okay. Add some nuance to the game.
I will say, I think Freyr should have a medal for finally getting rid of Elamine, the menace. No. Infantry pulse. And Penross and I, we will be partying in the lounge tomorrow. Come hit us up. But yeah, Freyr, I've only seen like 2 Freyrs, I think, so far. Not that common in like the non-rank 1 places of AR currently. But in the few times I have seen him, well, we have this thing called the Bolt Tower, which can easily deal with him. And
jeez. Oh my
gosh. That's how I've been mainly dealing with him. I will say there has been some really cool archetypes that I've seen with Freyr. I know you, Joel, you have like a sort of like dancer trap with soaring guidance with Mirabilis, I think. That seemed really cool. There was one that I saw that like used like a restore to like extend the range, and honestly it's been really refreshing when I've seen these like new Freyr teams in Astra Anima.
I think Freyr is Arvel. And I don't know if you guys remember when Arvel came out, but everyone had a hard time figuring out how to use him. It was weird. There were so many different folks that said, you can't, because it's another ranged nuke, you'll never be able to work this unit into your defense. And it took probably about a month. And then suddenly we started seeing really good Arvel defenses. I think Freyr's going to be the same thing. He's not just plug and play. You don't just put him in like Famortis. Famortis took no thought. You put him in exactly where your savior was, and you went to town. Like that's Freyr's different. Like you really have to revamp things. But I think he's worth it. And the biggest value I think he brings is I've just completely gotten rid of my near savior because he is so bulky that he doesn't have trouble taking on most Gale Force units. I think the funniest, I posted it in the Eitr Raids discussion earlier today, or actually yesterday, and they all just have fun just absolutely destroying my defenses. It's kind of demoralizing, but the funny one was having Edelgard, like someone has an AoE Edelgard, like OG Edelgard, and couldn't take him down that way. I had a replay where the person had tried to hit him 3 different times with an utterly buffed out Crom and still couldn't get the kill. And this is bonus season, so everything's inflated, but still, he's very good. I think he's an excellent frontliner, and you stick him and guard bearing for Catria up as your two units, and they're very hard to get past. Skip the near save, and you've got an extra nuke.
Yeah, definitely. And it'll be interesting to see like any new and unique archetypes that might come up. Like, I think we're just scratching the surface right now.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what people do so I can copy it because I'm so lazy. I don't want to make it.
Yeah, I need copy. I need some new pastas right now for my defense.
This week you'll see nothing good because it's Bull Tower week. It's such a crapshoot. Bull Tower week is like chaos season. Whether you win or not is just an utter crapshoot. Yeah. You just pray to RNGesus.
It's also male Alir season, so Linja here has charge now, which has been absolutely so fun to use.
Oh man.
Yeah. But yeah, where would you say he ranks among the Anima mythics? Because I know, like, granted, like, Anima mythics weren't like that hard to rank beforehand. Like, I think it was pretty self-explanatory, but where would you rank him now that we've had some time to see how well he does in Theorycraft?
Oh man, I'm going back. I had him really low. I was in a bad mood that day. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Wait.
What the heck?
What?
I don't know. Maybe I had better the day of. I
don't remember this. I watched your video. I thought you had it at like least tier 1.
For those who aren't looking, I had I did move him up. Okay, this was just me rearranging stuff. Yeah, I had him in tier 1. For those listening, I have this chart where he's like way down with Duma and Saros. Sometimes when I see a unit, I have like a mood and I have to talk myself down. And it goes either way. Like sometimes I think they're too good, sometimes I think they're too bad. I've got to let it sit for a second. It's why I'm so bad at reactions. Okay, I see where I finally ranked him, and it wasn't nearly that bad. Okay, I had him like right below Mira. Yeah. Wow, I kind of have him in the same spot, like tier 1. Right below Mira. I don't have him in tier 0, although he could get there if we come up with some neat things.
Yeah.
But
okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I have my tier list too.
Yeah.
I think Mira is like actually really good though. I think people like really sleep on Mirabilis. And it's not because like she has like some insane PRF or anything. She's just a melee flying dancer, and that's really, really good on defense.
Yep. And even more now.
She's so versatile.
Right.
Yes.
Yep.
And
I think
I mean, my tier list would pretty much be the same, although I think I'd swap like Femortis and Mira because I think you two know my thoughts on Femortis.
Femortis hater.
Hey, let me know once like Femortis gets more than 52 HP, okay? Then we'll talk.
Oh my gosh. I can't wait until Gatekeeper. Yeah, I can't wait for it because it's gonna. I'm gonna help counter Zach with this diss track. I'm gonna throw in a line about the Bolt Tower.
You let me know. I'll be right there. We'll have everyone who hates the Bolt Tower throw in a line on his diss track.
We'll get like infantry pulls and Penros as well. But traitors.
It'll be the worst rap in the history of the world.
It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
Maybe Oblivion has rhythm. I don't know.
Nope.
Maybe.
Sure don't.
Never mind.
I can't clap on beat.
For those of you who are unawares, Connor, Zach, and I have quote-unquote beef because I have sinned because I said I like Legendary Robin. But yeah, it's all in good fun. But I will say I will totally destroy with my response once that diss track comes out. So you better be prepared if you decide to join.
Okay, I'm ready. It's just the drama we need in the community.
Good fun drama is always great. I'll take it.
Yeah. All right. I think we can close our discussion on Freyr. We are super excited to see what he can do. I do want to circle back to the Engage banner because obviously Diamant is not the only unit that was released on this Engage banner. We also have some very unique units in the form of Citrinne with her very unique support. And I've seen a lot of theory crafting, especially when like Citrinne was released. It was the SDS season where we had Headlong Rush. And I saw a lot of players use her as a captain to spread that buzz throughout. And I've even seen it in like some of the tournament VODs. How well do you think Citrinne did during that season, and whether or not she'll be able to hold that long term?
It was okay. That's pretty much where she ended up being. Where it's like, yes, it was good, but there was typically better options that were just a little bit more powerful. And so I think that like she's on that like tipping point where like if something insane comes out, she'll be broken, but if not by herself, she's just not gonna like make the impact that you want her to make, kind of like, or you hope so. I think that like with the right skill coming out, like if we get like attack, I don't know, it'd be like infantry attack tactic, I don't think they'd call it, but if it gives out like, you know, like if dominance becomes available or treachery or anything like that, I think that she could definitely get better because she herself as a unit isn't that bad, right? You can do the AoE build, you can do like a special spiral 4 iceberg build, and she pre-charges it. So I think she has potential. It's just that she's not reached it yet.
I'm gonna go one tiny step past you and say she's neat. But that's kind of like that's where she is, right? She does some really fun things. Are they practical? Sometimes not. I ran into exactly one team that used her well, and there were a sea of people who tried. And she's really difficult to use properly. But I do think when she is used properly, she has a lot of good applications.
Right. I mean, like at the end of the day, if you don't take advantage of her unique capabilities, she just becomes like another AoE nuke, and that is an archetype we have already seen a lot of. Obviously, like damage notwithstanding or anything like that, but it's really when you can take advantage of her like support capabilities is where she'll really shine. And I feel like there is potential where this could be like a Brave Crom situation. Like Brave Crom, I think was already good because he released alongside Brave Seliph, which was like the Omega combo. But there is that same potential with Citrinne, except she, instead of having a unit, she came alongside Captain Skill during that one season. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see long term how well Citrinne does. Yeah. We also
I want to know if I'm kicking myself once the CYL units hit. Like that's the big, because they always introduce some new neat things, and that'll be the thing, because I didn't get her. So if something new and neat comes out, that's where she could really accelerate.
I couldn't not get her because I love Citrinne so much. She's like one of my favorite characters from the game. So I was like, I have to get her, even if she ends up not being great.
Yeah. Personally, I don't think I will regret not going for her. There's only been one instance in this entire time in FEH where I've actually regret not going for something. But yeah, it will be very interesting to see what new effects CYL or other banners can potentially have. But yeah, we also have Alcryst and Eitr, both rearmed heroes with new skills and new arcane weapons. Have you two? I know the Beast one had a lot of excitement over. What were you two thoughts on those?
I got called out so hard on Eitr. I really, and rightfully so. I was so excited, and I had the new ranking for the rearmed heroes, and I put him way too high. Or her way too high. The problem being her B skill is, I love what it signals for the future. I like tier 4 B skills. I think that's a neat thing. Bring them on. But that skill itself is good on 2 units. As a unit, I think she's good. As a rearmed unit, I think she is solid. We'll go with. Does that sound about right? I mean, when it comes to Eitr, I think she's a really cool unit. I like B-Sense 4 a lot. I think it's actually a good skill. It's actually the place I found the best use of, though, wasn't really on Cav. It was more on infantry. Giving infantry actually a way to have damage reduction was so nice, and it helped units like Nyla and Fallen Worm a lot, which is cool because they needed more love. Mm-hmm. The problem is that as a rearmed hero, when you're duplicating on rearmed heroes, the thing you really want to do is get a ton of tier 4 skills that have the tier 3 version available on a different character. Yes.
Right? So you can duplicate as much as possible.
Yep.
And you can't do that with B-Sense 4, which is just stupid, first of all. And then second, she's a cavalry unit, so the options are already limited. So that's my biggest problem with her. But as a unit, I think she's pretty cool.
Yeah, the fact that we don't have a lot of the common tier 3 versions of a lot of these skills we want is really big hindrance. How is it that we only have one source of guard bearing 3 in all of the codes? It is so sad. I have to pray that I get 4-star special anads or something now, or from the arena summons. But yeah, Eitr is nice and all. I know a lot of people, especially Freyja users, foddered Nihility to Freyja. Yep. Honestly, probably a better weapon if you're going player face, I think.
I said that, and I got dumpstered in my comments. I said that arcade. I still think people are you give up distant counter. How are you gonna give up distant counter for 15% speed-based true damage? I'm well, you're not being an omni tank. You really don't need distant counter. But people did not like to hear that. They got mad at me, really mad at me. How dare you even suggest that? And I'm okay, whatever. You do you. I'm gonna stay over here with my slaying and 15% speed-based true damage.
The problem I have with most units in the beast categories, I didn't realize that they were not on the fastest side. I thought they were more fast beast units, and there aren't that many. I've got it on Freyr. I've got it on that would be funny, right? I've got it on Emblem.
Okay.
I think Emblem uses it very well. She's very fast, and that's an excellent skill on her. But I was looking at the number of units, and it's just so the speed is lower than I thought. That's really, I just keep saying it the different ways, but
speed creep is nuts.
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember 100%. When Freyja was the fastest unit for I want to say 2 years or something like that. And then we're now at 46 or something with all the phantom speed and all of that in the skills as well.
She's still pretty fast, but there's just PRF weapons that give you so much speed. It's ridiculous. It's 14 speed or something. It's okay, sure. Who thought that was okay? Jeez.
And And back to your point, at a bare minimum, you should be able to give Freyja Nihility and Beast Sense 4. Like, at a bare minimum.
Yes. We
Five
skill inheritance.
SI, yeah. When IS. We also... go ahead.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say that we also have like Alcryst with like Flash Sparrow and the Arcane Bow. Haven't heard as much discussion from this as like Eitr, probably because, Beast Rearmed is like the new surprising thing. But honestly, if Flash Sparrow having the Heavy Blade / Flashing Blade effect while also getting like the attack speed buffs, that's sort of like taking your cake and eating it too when it comes to that. And like when it comes to like Gale Force units that can run that, I think that is a really, really cool A skill personally.
Alcryst is like god tier. I love Alcryst so much, and I've been just waiting. Alcryst has a little shrine around him, and I am sacrificing things to him slowly. Bring in the sacrifice tier Alcryst. It's almost complete. I just need one Ascended Fur, and then like Alcryst is gonna be god tier, and then he's just gonna like give out the fodder to everybody. It's gonna be so amazing. I think Flash Sparrow is like so underrated. It's so powerful, and Alcryst is like one of the most perfect units to duplicate fodder on. Like it's so much value. You can pretty much have like any of your like ranged melee nukes like use Alcryst and get like a full like optimal kit, which is so nice. And him himself as a unit is very good too. So you're like getting a very good nuke alongside god tier fodder. So I think like him and like Ophelia are like the top tier in my opinion of like rearmed heroes. Well, actually, oh man, Tana and Ingrid are really
Tana
good
and
too.
Ingrid,
So,
yeah, I was
okay,
about to say.
yeah. Like, okay, yeah, like those four, and then there's like Ganglot, who's like. She's infantry, so I'm like, okay, you can duplicate fodder, but like you as a unit suck, and then your weapon's like So like, I want to throw things on her, but I feel bad at the same time. So I'm like, oh man, I don't know.
If Oblivion ever does like a rearmed tier list, like they'll all be up there, and then like S tier, S++ all the way, and then like down in D will be Ganglot,
and then down in E will be Alfred.
Oh my god.
Oh, poor Alfred. Probably down there. Leif will probably be down there as well. But anyway, you're the one who sold me on him. And just the big thing is, and this is, I got so many comments about how Ganglot is good because she's the only one who can duplicate infantry fodder. Yep. The thing is, and I keep on bringing this up, but how many Omni tanks do you really need?
A lot.
But
like 20, at least 20.
How many nukes do you need? Like, that's a totally different story. And that's why I think Alcryst is very valuable, because you do need multiple different nukes, multiple different flavors of them. And I think he can hand out fodder like candy. And it's, he's a fantastic unit. I don't have him. I wish I did, but I think the thing with the god swords or like Omni tanks is that you don't need that many, but everybody loves Omni tanks. So even if you don't need them, you're gonna use them. So I think we just need. I am waiting for the rearmed hero who is a god sword or an Omni tank of some sort that doesn't suck like Ganglot does, and I'm gonna put everything on them. Attack speed, distant attack speed solo, like velocity 4 whenever that comes out. Null Sea Disrupt. Null Sea Disrupt 4 is so good. Like, this is the skill people are sleeping on. Like, in the current meta, there are so many units that rely on sweep effects, and it just turns them off. Like Hinoka, like Alm, right? Like, there's so many. Okay,
Veronica.
Okay, now hold on. They're not sleeping on the skill. It's just really hard to get.
Right. Because it's like
I think
only
people
on
are sleeping on it,
right?
though. Right. I mean, it's really hard to get, but I think people are sleeping on it. Like, I feel like...
That's true. Yeah.
There hasn't been much discussion about it yet. And it's... I had to like cut my section. I had like a fucking like 2-page section. Like, why Null Sea Disrupt this 4 is good. And I'm like, wait, this is a tier list video. I need to like put this somewhere else.
Right.
But
I mean, it's also the fact that like Guinevere's like banner was like super unhyped because it was like sandwiched between two summer banners, and so like obviously no one's going to like summon or pay attention to that. Especially when we have the Summer Engage banner silhouettes. We're totally getting Summer Engage at the time, right?
Yep. Totally.
But yeah.
Oh, man.
I do agree. Like,
Alcryst is great.
Alcryst is great. NCD4 is great. Like, they're definitely under-discussed and underrated. And yeah, we're here to spread the gospel about them, I guess.
Yeah, do not fodder your valuable fodder. Like, I know Joel's not gonna agree with me, but like I feel like anytime you get really valuable fodder off like a legendary or a mythic or like some limited unit like Ivy or whatever, giving it to a rearmed hero is just so much value, because anytime you summon that hero later on, you just get to duplicate that fodder. So like instead of having to kill like 5 legendary Yuris for like Hexblade, you can kill 1, and then like, you know what I mean? But like you do have to summon for the rearmed heroes, obviously. But the thing is, they're most likely going to get reruns, and probably sparkable reruns. So definitely, if you want to invest, it's like a 401k. You can invest over time.
A 401. All right, I'm sorry, DTM. I don't normally do this, but
whatever. Everyone gets to decide how they spend their orbs.
Yeah.
That's it. Listen, if you have a lot of rearmed units, that's great, but not a lot of people have that. Like that. Those are tough to come by. It is an expensive setup that only pays off if you're after a certain amount that you've invested in, and it's expensive.
I mean, Joel, all you have to do is just get lucky, right? You just got to free summon all the rearms, and yeah, you're good to go. Free summon Anads as well. Get all your Guidance 4, Guardian Bearing 4 tanks out there.
I was just about to say how bad my summons have been, but I mean, you guys just saw me on that Ingrid banner, so I can't talk at all. Like that's
the thing is the rearmed heroes typically premiere on new heroes banners, which are sparkable to everyone, right?
Right.
So at least you'll get 1 per banner, but typically you might get 2. Like I think on average you will get 2 if you're sniping that color.
70%, so I believe, yeah.
Yeah. So I like even getting 2 for like 160 orbs ish around. Like or less sometimes.
150-ish, I think, is average.
Yeah. So like I mean, it's just it adds up, right? The orbs are not cheap, but like I feel like it's so worth it. It's so worth it. Because fodder that's the thing, right? Like right now, the thing that defines units are their builds. It's the skills. And so being able to duplicate that skills just means that your favorite units get to be good all the time, because you just can keep updating them, which is nice. Like right? Like Nephne just got an update, and now I can play with Nephne and she's not trash. And it feels so good to play with one of my favorites with a good build. And I don't know. Like, I feel like people know that, right? Like you play with your favorites, and everybody says it. But when you have the optimal skills on your favorites, it feels even better.
And like it's actually like viable, like legitimately.
Right.
Like that's the great thing about that. Like, yeah, like it's not like a struggle to use your favorites, especially if they're like the Omni tanks you're talking about. Like we've just gotten so many good skills that most units, unless they're like Leo or something, you'll be able to make work really, really well.
Honestly, it's not even Leo, unless they're melee calves. That is the hardest.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Melee calves are like in a very bad spot. Some are like ranged flyers to an extent, but at least they can be support units with Guidance 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, calves really are like the worst movement type now.
Oh yeah, it's not even close. Like it's not even close right now. Like they need help. And they need so many like good skills. They need a guard bearing 4, but like not necessarily for damage reduction, but they need like that kind of level of skill.
Right. I guess to like move along, because we sort of got off topic with Engage, but this is all great. I love it.
I forgot we were talking about Engage.
I mean, like the only other thing we have is like Lapis, and I don't think there's much to talk about her unless you're like a maniac that goes for a +10 Lapis on that Diamant banner and get like 32 Diamants.
Gotta go for your favorites, right? Oh,
yeah.
Somebody left me a comment yesterday, and they were like, "You predicted the Engage banner 100%, except for Eitr. That's the only thing I didn't get right, which was like impossible to do. But I got every other unit perfectly right. So I was like, hey,
nice.
I'm pretty good at this. Nice, yeah.
All right, who's going to be in the next Engage banner, Oblivion?
It's a Lucia, so it's gonna be like what? Ivy, Hortensia, Seagull's gonna be the free demote unit, right?
Engage Dancer, okay. That could
or not Seagull. I didn't mean Seagull.
Oh.
I meant Seagull. I meant oh my gosh, what's his name? The sword master.
Zelkov? Velkov?
No, Kagetsu.
Oh, Kagetsu.
Kagetsu. And then we'll also get Golden Mary probably or something like that. That's what I would assume. All females except for one male unit, and they'll be the demote, right? That sounds about right for Faye.
Yeah. We're also going to get the rearmed staff, and Oblivion will have a plus 10 Hortensia, and we'll all celebrate that he finally found the light.
It will be the best staff in the game, and I still won't summon for it.
It's going to be rearmed Anna. And that makes so much sense because, she's handing out skills and to everybody. It'll be rearmed Anna.
And charging for a premium. Yeah, makes sense.
And charging. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what rearmed heroes are.
Honestly, I'd love that so much.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Speaking of new banners, so should we talk about the upcoming event, the thing that everybody is waiting for?
Yes, I was about to get to that, but, IS has certain patterns, and from that we can tell that this next one might be one that is super hyped. It is the CYL 7. We are almost there, folks. Once this release, it will be like either 4 or 3 days until the suspected Fae channel where we'll get this announced. And yeah, we have Robin, Soren, Golveg, and Corrin as the CYL 7 units. So I guess, who are you most excited for from that batch?
Oh man, I'm salty, so every time I think Felix could be there, it makes me so mad. I don't know, the thing is, I should be saying Soren because he's a Tellius character, but I don't like Soren very much, and I know people get very mad about that because they're very defensive over Soren. But if you've played Tellius, he's so moody, and I don't know. That's not the type of character I like.
I mean, it's just that people haven't played the game, so they don't realize how terrible of a person he is. So
he really is, though. He's so mean, even to his own adopted family. He just treats them so poorly, unless Ike. I'm like, ugh. But so Soren could be interesting. I think Robin, I'm the most afraid of.
Moody, mean to other units. Do you not like him because you're seeing yourself in him?
Nope.
Is that?
I knew you were gonna say that. Nope. Thanks, Joel. Thanks.
Anyways, continue, Oblivion.
Oh man. But I'm afraid Robin brings grand strategy or grand strategy plus or some kind
grand
of
strategy
nonsense.
2, Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, I'm afraid of that. That can be really horrifying because it's a free to play unit first of all, right? So everybody can have it, and that's just another iteration of it. So that's scary.
Non-season.
And I'm also scared of I'm also scared of Golveg because Golveg on her base form has that Gale Force, the free Gale Force weapon, and which is strong. It's just naturally strong. So I'm afraid of seeing those two do really well. I think Soren and Corrin could definitely be really good, right? We have no idea what their kit's going to be. But I'm not as afraid for those two, I guess. I feel like Corrin's going to be a god sword with Omega Yada or whatever.
Who are you most excited
I'm very
for, Joel?
concerned about Soren. I think Soren might be the stinker of this batch.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised.
There's one every year, and I'm looking at these other units, and they're just I'm worried. Hey, listen, if he is the stinker, just know that whatever's the worst hero, they generally give them a really amazing refine. So
that is true.
Go.
It's it's like an investment. You just need to wait 2 years for that investment to bear fruit.
Hey, there you go. I want to see Golveg. I like ranged Gale Force. I think that is a really fun strategy, and I'm all for it. Wouldn't it be funny if they made her an armor? Just went completely opposite of what she actually was, and that would be such a shock.
Ranged Gale Force armor.
Oh my gosh! That would be wild. Actually,
what I want is her to be a snake beast unit. I don't know what a snake movement type that would be, but I think that'd be cool. And they already have a sprite kind of for it, right? With the Eitr sprite or whatever.
Yeah.
So that'd be cool. Just remove the boobs. The boobs on the snake was weird. Please.
It was so forced. I don't know why they did that. I don't know.
It was for the one person. They're like, we got you. That's your kink. There you go.
It was for SB Adam, apparently. But anyways, honestly, I actually was thinking about her being potentially a snake beast thing. that just like popped into my head like yesterday. One of those like shower thoughts about Faye, I guess. Yes, I think about Faye like that. Apparently, I don't know. I obviously like I'm most excited for Robin as a Awakening fan. Like it's been so long. I'm super excited. Hopefully, it's not just Grand Strategy 2 Electric Boogaloo. I hope they do something pretty unique about that. I'm also excited to see what they do with Corrin. Like, it's probably going to be the Vala outfit she has in her Cypher card, I would imagine.
Right.
Unless IS really, really, really wants her to be in Nor, which, I respect, I guess. But, yeah. If she's still a dragon, if she does not have the Omega Yado, I'll be so sad. Like, come on. It has to happen at some point.
Yeah. So many dragon Corrins, it's ridiculous.
All in all, I like this batch. Like, I know folks are down on Gulvig, but I like the Gulvig pick as well. The one thing, we've talked about it over and over. Obviously Felix should have been in there instead of Soren. I would have been so much happier with this batch in general.
Yep.
Yeah.
But overall, I like the Gulvig pick. I think it's the fan base is saying we want more of this character that we've seen, and we're not okay with you giving us 3 lines.
Is that what they were saying, Joel? Is that what they were really saying?
Hey,
Come on now.
I always try to think the best of people. So
right. I think they saw the art and were like, huh? Oh yeah, this art's really good. You better, if they had like a option to vote for the best like summer unit or a summer banner, you better believe she would have gotten number 1. They would have been like, yep.
Oh man.
Give us summer Gulvig.
The amount of people that summoned for Summer Freyja just for the art is like absolutely insane. And like, I respect it.
Hey, you know what you like, right? Go for it.
Exactly. But yeah, obviously it's just not CYL 7. We also have the CYL 5 refines that will be coming up. Especially, I think, in the beginning of September. We've talked about one particular throughout this batch. Like, Gatekeeper has the potential to cement himself as my arch nemesis and be actually good for once. But there are also other options that can go. Like, obviously we talked about On Guard, but honestly, Gatekeeper can be good with like a variety of effects, I think.
Can he? We've talked about it a lot. We've joked about it, but and I may get hate mail for this. He needs like a legendary Seliph level of refine in order to be good. Like, he has the furthest to go.
I don't actually agree. I think that the difference between Seliph and Gatekeeper is that Gatekeeper inherently is a support unit, and Seliph 1 is a combat unit, right? That's just the difference. And so when it comes to Gatekeeper, right, even if they didn't change any of the effects of his weapon, but gave him one powerful support effect, it would be enough to use him, right? If he got On Guard, even if everything else is bad about him, On Guard plus anti-warping is good for ARD. If he got like no see disrupt like aura, right, automatically he's good for like omni tanking and save walls. So, like, I think he just needs one really powerful support effect. Like, if it's anti-break, he immediately becomes like a meta unit, like top of the meta unit. So I think,
and that's my big issue though, is I don't think he needs. I've been looking a lot at the support units right now, and the common thing is they have to be both amazing nukes or amazing some kind of combat unit and amazing support units. It's one of the hardest archetypes to break into now, because we just have ridiculous units. Legendary Robin has both. You think of Asker. Both Askers are amazing combat units, and they offer great support. Like, you need both of those to truly make a dent. On Guard would be enough to where he could carve out a place in ARD, but I gotta tell you, like, Gatekeeper fans, they don't want to see a unit that's just good in ARD. Like, that's so we'll see.
Sorry, salty burn. Anyway,
we were clearly like super salty from that one Reddit thread about which was more broken, Sigurd or Fallen Edelgard. Oh my gosh. I lost brain cells reading that, not gonna lie.
Me too. I think the thing is, like, even when you talk about that, like, right, let's talk about like Legendary Eliwood and Catria, right? Technically, both those units are good in combat, but typically you don't use them for combat, right? Catcher, you hit like some weak units and kill sometimes, like some like squishy nukes, and then like Guardbearing Fork does give her some like tankiness. But like Legendary Eliwood, like whenever you see him used, it's pretty much like, hey, I smite somebody in, and then I sit in the back of the team and wave at people like, hey, what's up? Like he never actually fights really. I think it's possible that if your support is strong enough, you can just be a support unit, but it needs to be ridiculous. And the thing is, it's possible, right? Because Gatekeeper already gives attack and speed +5. If he gets +5 to all stats and some broken effect, I think it could be enough for him. Will they do that? I don't know, because the thing is, an effect that broken, they're going to want to sell to us. That's just how it makes sense business-wise, right? Why would you want to give out the anti-brave effect to Gatekeeper when you can give it to a new duo unit and sell a whole bunch of money on a banner that's not sparkable to non-Pay Pass players, right? I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know if I
agree with you this year. This year, the refines, I've been looking back at the refines from this year, and they have given us a lot of really meta-defining refine units. A lot of that has to do with exactly what we're talking about with the meta, where it's so much is driven on skills, and you can make them good with skills as well. But honestly, they have really gone out of their way to give us good refines. So it's possible.
Yeah,
it's possible. Yeah, I will say I don't expect Gatekeeper to bring in a new effect. I don't think we've had a refine that brought in a new effect yet. But I can see them like making Gatekeeper like really good. Like imagine if Gatekeeper had both like the warp bubble and like the ash effect, for instance, like being able to disable opponents' warps while allowing warps of your own. Like that would be like one of the issues with Legendary Myr is that the warp bubble's on the sea, right? So you can't run Guidance 4. But if Gatekeeper can do that, yes, he still can't frontline depending on the refine. But at least he has more value that way. So there's a lot of creative ways I think that Gatekeeper can be made more interesting. Although if he gets a bad refine, I'm not going to be that disappointed. Just going to say that.
No, I mean.
Okay. So give him Guidance 4 warping and triangle attack.
Oh my god, no, Joel, stop.
Instantly amazing. Like that's the level that I'm talking about. And that's not out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah, it's not.
No.
I mean, I think for me, like the most interesting refines of this match are Gatekeeper and Marianne for me personally.
Oh yes, same.
I don't think like Brave Marth and Erica are like bad units by any means, but I don't think they need like all that much to be good units. They just need some like key effects, and I don't think that's really interesting. Like I feel like it's like, oh yeah, you're a good unit, you tank bust better, you Vantage Omni tank better, cool. Marianne and Gatekeeper are like the interesting units. Where like, oh man, this refine can like really define them in some ways. With Marianne, it could just be like a little upgrade, but I hope it's not. I hope it's something insane, like some like self refresh or like they want to break the game. They could take off the once per turn thing. I'm just saying.
Oh gosh, imagine.
I think Marianne has the highest ceiling of these units in regards to refines.
Yes.
I mean, she does. People like say that her main weakness nowadays is like her damage, and really wish that Requiem Dance like had damage. But honestly, like I never found damage to be that much of an issue with her. The main issue with her these days is the fact that she needs Flashing Blade to proc her special, and she cannot get guarded, which means she needs to be able to meet the speed checks and make sure that she isn't initiated on a unit with guard. If any of those instances apply, like she will not proc Requiem Dance unless she doubles, and like that is the main issue with Marianne. That I found using her these days is that it's harder and harder to proc that special. And so like ways to make that a lot more consistent, either through tempos, more slang, or like support. Obviously, like I'll appreciate combat buffs, but yeah, I think like Marianne, again, I personally put her as still the best CYL 5 unit right now, since she does have a very established niche. Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what they do with her.
I want them to break her. I want them like I want anti-guard. I want Wings of Mercy 4. I want magic no follow-up so she can have DR. Right. I want like a whole bunch and increase the range too. Like make it with like a unit within 3 spaces instead of 2. And that way she could be like an SD unit. I think that would be so cool. Like increasing
the range might actually like hinder Gale Force strats, because you could like dance the unit you don't want to dance, which is an interesting trade-off.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I want them to break Marianne. I want Marianne to like dumpster people.
Same.
I honest to God think Marth is the best CYL 5 unit. Like, no irony there.
Really?
He is good. I've been working on Sims with Marth, and he is good, but he has weaknesses that are like emphasized based off what build you choose to go for him. And so
definitely
he only needs a few good effects, and he can be fixed. Also, they need to make his conditions a little bit more forgiving, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, I do think like Marth did get some nice upgrades, especially with like Special Spiral 4, being able to pierce through damage reduction that way with his like Vantage build. Like that is like Marth has definitely gotten some nice buffs. I will still say that I'm just so sick of God Swords, so yeah.
I don't blame you.
Yep. I thought I was, and then Legendary Seliph came along, and it turns out I am not sick of God Swords.
You're just sick of God Sword infantry units, right?
Apparently so.
Making a Cav into a good Omni tank, who would have ever thought that would have happened, right? Like,
not me.
That's
not
nuts.
1,000 years.
That's
no.
Nuts. Every single one I've been testing is just so trash. It's not even funny. And I'm like, I'm trying to do everything right. I'm like trying to give them as many bonuses as possible to see if they can perform, and they just don't. And I'm like, okay, well, you know, the proof is in the pudding. It's just not working out for them. And then Self shows up, and I'm like, they gave him everything he needed. Like, they really did. They just went over the top. Like, the only thing you can complain about Self, in my opinion, is that his miracle is kind of weak. Like, it's not the best miracle, right? It's like a once per turn miracle, and it also has like a 50% HP condition. That is what's the word? Like it changes, right? It's not like a at start of turn 1. So that's like the only thing you can complain about. But like other than that, everything else is perfect. Like, I mean, so like what?
Yeah,
I wanted dual phase Brave, but I mean,
that too. Yeah.
I can't complain about this refine. Like this is really a great refine. That's
yeah.
Oh, they really love Seliph. Like they've been. That's the thing about Genealogy and Thrasha. We don't get very many banners for it, but when we do get banners, they're always really good. Like we always get like some really magnified units out of those banners. So I think that's
always cool. Though. Was it always? I remember the banner with like August or something. I can't even remember any unit from that.
Wait, we got Battle Astra. Right?
I guess. Did that come with August? I can't remember.
Maybe I'm wrong. I thought it was. Maybe.
Sure. I don't really pay attention to Genealogy or Thracia banners. I haven't played those games, sorry. But yeah. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. Like, it might have. Yeah. But yeah, like, yeah, Seliph has been treating very, very well. So, yeah. I mean, when I first...
I had to go look it up. It was Ascendant Mareeta with that badge. But also had Galzus and Karen. So, I mean...
Right, yeah. Right. No. I mean, not everyone wins, but like there's like one good unit at least.
I mean...
Or good fodder.
I mean, people were going to skip that banner until they realized Vital Astra was inheritable. And that like completely made a 180 in terms of perception. Yeah. They were like, oh no.
Kill Mareeta now.
IS was like, oh no, people aren't excited. Press the inheritable button. Make people excited again.
They need to do that more often.
Yes, they do.
Imagine if like Chivalric Aura was inheritable and like that concept.
Oh my god. To only calves, and suddenly we're having a very different conversation about calves.
Yep.
Or even Supreme Astra. Like I was joking about that being inheritable. Imagine that on like Summer Shez or like Brave Seliph or whoever. That'd be disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when I saw that Fae channel, like seeing like Ira not like be decharged after she did her special, like I know like that made a lot of people, including myself, really worried because we're like, oh no, we have slaying -2 now. This game is going to break. Turns out it was something different, but yeah, like
still really good.
Yeah.
Like Times Pulse 5 pretty much. Like, we're seeing the future.
Okay, speaking of the Fae channel, like we obviously have like the summer celebration and everything, and we also had the Hero Fest. Okay, I'm so sad we did not get like Tana and Ingrid in that Hero Fest, but that's okay, I guess. But there was a surprising amount of hype for this Hero Fest. Like, I didn't see it. I thought this was like really, really mediocre. I thought like Robin was like the only good unit there. really.
I feel like it was like the Hero Fest is like a B. That's probably what I'd give it. And last year was like a C. Or worse.
Oh my god.
No, like it's like a C because Hardy Fighter was so meta. Like it's still meta, but like it was super meta last year.
Right.
So I think last year was like a C just because of Fjorm. And this year's like a B. Where like there's some decent stuff there. But like then there's Byleth, and like why did they put legendary Byleth here?
Why Byleth?
I don't know.
It's like the most random thing ever.
I'd probably give it a B plus. Like I always think of these in terms of beginners, right? That's really who these are for. They're not really for us. But if you think about someone starting out, I think this is a good set of units, and then there's Byleth, and I don't understand. But
But Joel, I thought Winter Black Knight was one of the 5 worst units of the year.
He's such good fodder, though. Oh man, just like fodder all of your Black Knights. In fact, the reason I love this so much is that I fodder Black Knight to Robin, and then I'm able to give Special Fighter to more units. It just
I was thinking about doing the same thing. Like I was thinking about foddering that to Robin, and then foddering that from Robin to like Valentine's Lucina with Distant Dart and everything. Like
Oblivion is like curled up on the floor.
just please don't give it to Fomortis. Whatever you do not give it to Fomortis.
Oh my gosh. Oh man.
Oh my god.
That actually made me like cringe. Like, oh my goodness.
Yeah. But I mean, they could have, like, my problem is that they could have went Rearmed, and even if it wasn't like the best Rearmed units, I would have preferred having Alfred over Legendary Byleth. Like, at least there's, you know, that's something, you know what I mean? Like, because Legendary Byleth just, what do you do with that? You know what I mean? Like, if you don't plus 10 her, she's just, okay.
And what does she even have as fodder? Like, what is it? Attack speed ideal? Lol? Yeah. That's it? I guess Ruptured Sky, like, that's definitely the fodder new players need to have.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, I don't know.
It needed to be Tana. It really needed to be because again, we're talking about new players here, and that is the skill. Like that helps you so much to get started.
Yeah,
so
Guidance 4 is the Hardy Fighter of this year. Like, I think that's the best way to put it.
Yep. It is the premium skill.
Yeah. All right.
Until we get, I want a Guidance 4 for Cavs. I think that'd be stupid but funny. I don't know what it would be called.
I mean, I think we talked about this briefly before, but it could be like something that gives like Pathfinder or something to Cavs, maybe.
Well, I mean, like even just like the warping, because like right now we have infantry flyer.
Oh yeah.
It could be like infantry cav, and it could be like I don't know, like Sky Drop or something. I don't know. They could make some stupid name up for it. Just like dropping your horses on people.
Horsepower
that's exactly
or something.
what I was envisioning.
Just Rhino Catcher carrying Seliph over. You get the Doom music start going, and the Seliph drops down and kills things.
Is that a horse in the sky?
that reminds me of this one art of, I think it was Summer Tana, like carrying the 2 Sacred Stones armors during that one Hall of Forms session we had. I need to go find that, but oh my god, that just reminds me of it.
Oh man, that's amazing.
Yeah,
they should do that though. They should just keep doing that. And then I'm also interested to see what they do with the the Flyer B skills, like Flyer's guidance and stuff, and seeing how they upgrade that. So I think that could be really cool too.
Yeah, I want to see like Acrobatics 4 and like see what that does, because that would be super cool.
Or within 5 spaces of infantry.
Yeah, I mean, we have been getting a lot of cool skills and cool seals too. Like we just recently got the Bold Fighter seal, right?
Oh my god. And Attack Speed Catch, which is like a godsend if you play SDS. Because SDS is just, you're sitting there and you're like, which unit gets the good attack speed seals?
Yes. And which one gets like HP plus 5, attack speed plus 3? And
Who gets
which, to be fair, is a pretty good skill. It's a pretty good seal.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Bold Fighter, though, I've already used it on my Fallen Edelgard in the Wings of Mercy Heavy Blade, now Bold Fighter build as a Wings of Mercy Gale Force follow-up. And not having to worry about attack checks is just so good. It's like so much less stress. Yeah, we need to still look out for guard, but that is a lot easier to take into account than doing the calcs. I think
is this a signal that we're about to get more player phase armors? Is that what they're telling us?
CYL 7, all of them are armored. They all have new fighter skills.
It's CYL 2 all over again, but worse.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Crafty Fighter 4.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. That pissed everybody off so much.
I think this also like opens the door to like more future fighter seals, right? Like we could have special fighter as a seal. We could have crafty fighter or vengeful fighter. Maybe down the line we could get hardy fighter as a seal.
No. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Oh man.
Peddling your power creep again, I swear.
I know, right?
I mean, everyone would have it. Okay.
DTM's not really free to play. He just pretends to be. He spends thousands of dollars every month on crazy power creep. He's just like, give me more.
Yes. I just want to feel the power. That's why I'm laundering orbs in Fae right now.
Secretly, DTM is caloried. Like, maybe he just has 2 accounts.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what they do with that in the future. Like, at the very least, I do think like it's a safe bet to see like special fighter or something like that in the near future.
Let's talk about all the poor folks who are stuck with score bots that are armors, though.
Oh yes,
like that's you can't use them as saviors. I mean, they don't tank enough things. So I mean, so today I did my arena run and I had legendary Hector, who actually can function as a pretty good near savior. But I was like, hey, wait. And so I stuck Bold Fighter and Death Blow 4, and I didn't have a good B skill, but Osseous Pulse, and I mean, he really tore stuff up. It was fun.
Hector is slept on. Legendary Hector is actually slept on. I see still many people like his refine's not that good. I'm like, have you tried it?
Yeah, he's a really good savior and unit in general. Yeah. Like Osseous. Go ahead.
And we're getting him for. I think we're getting him for a Hall of Form soon. Maybe I'm lying. I think it's him.
It's
or
still
Lynn.
Speculated.
Yeah.
But it's hard because so far everyone we've speculated has come true. So eventually it'll have to stop because we don't have enough legendaries to keep up with that pace.
Right.
But I mean, for now, I'm here for it. It's the speculation is Roy next. So
yeah, it's Roy next, and then it's either Hector or Lynn. According to this site, yeah.
Personally hoping for Lynn, because my Lynn is just like crap. My Lynn is terrible.
Right.
I want Hector with the beacon skills, like the armored beacon, armored flow. Well, I guess armored beacon, but that's what I want.
I don't want to give him the ugly blue border though. I hate the ugly blue border so much.
I'm with you. You work so hard to get a unit to +10, and then you give him a blue border. It feels wrong.
Feels bad.
Yeah. My brave Edelgard looks so bad now with that blue border. It hurts my soul.
They should see what they should do is they should sell us skin borders. IS, another evil idea from Oblivion. $5. Now you can change the color of your ugly border.
I will say, man. I think it's super amazing that we are finally getting like legendary heroes in Hall of Forms. It's just been like so good. Like
love it.
Yeah.
I love it so much. It makes Hall of Forms so more hype. And like it actually probably is pushing like Form of solo sales probably. Like I can't imagine it's not.
I'm willing to bet like the vast majority of or if not the vast majority, a big portion of the revenue now is from like just Form of Souls and everyone getting those legendaries. Like, we've gotten a really good streak of them so far. Like, Legendary Alm is still good. Still so sad I forgot to redeem that. But that's a story for another day.
Redeem that?
No, okay. I was going to wait because at the time, I only had one Form of Soul remaining. So I was like, I'll wait for, the next, to see what the next batch is. And I just completely forgot about it. So. All
right, everyone listening, the moral of the story is it's always bad to wait.
always summon day one and always pull all the colors. Always
Always.
first.
Yeah.
Always. Someone's gonna clip that
actually,
and be
yeah.
like...
Someone's actually going to believe that and going to make a terrible decision too.
Hey,
So-
man,
someone's
it can't be
gonna
worse than
sound
giving
clip
for more
all
to
of
Special
this
Fighter
and-
4.
Oh god. Someone's gonna sound clip all of this and piece it together as an advice video.
Yeah, it's going to be the next iteration of the how to save video, except it's all the terrible advice we've given.
Oh man, put that on April Fools. There you go. Best April Fools video ever.
That's actually a good idea. I might do that, actually.
You should. That'd be hilarious.
Oh man. Do you think they'll give us mythics in hollow forms eventually?
Yes.
I think it's inevitable, but the question is
Yeah.
like when, right?
Yeah.
If like
yeah.
Christmas? Would that be a good time?
Yeah, I guess that's when Eitr raids came out, kind of. So. It would make
oh
sense.
yeah, be like anniversary sort of thing.
Yeah.
Or
Here's
a
air on the
milestone.
first hollow forms. And air would be kind of cool to get. Like I don't know what you'd really get premium on air, but I'm sure there's something.
yeah, and just having an extra merch. You could probably give her guidance 4 too.
Wait,
it just in case.
guidance for air. I mean,
Ooh.
100% guidance for air. Yes. That alone is worth the forma.
Mm-hmm. Not even counting like the extra merch and everything. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I'm at with all the fairy dancers right now. I just want one more merge, and I keep every time stupid Binding Worlds comes, I'm like, give me Joel's Peony, and it just doesn't do it.
Don't worry, Plumeria is in the remix now. You can spark her now. So
Yep, I will be definitely 100%.
I will be too. That +9 is still eating my
Yep.
soul.
Yup.
Yeah. But yeah, we've been just talking for like 1.5 hours now. It's been super fun. Like this was always super a blast. And yeah, we're all super hyped for CYL 7. Obviously, like the T banner, like probably not going to be the focal point of this month, to say the least. But yeah, is there anything else you two want to talk about that we haven't discussed already?
I think the thing we need to talk about is we need to hype up the next podcast. Because it's going to be the CYL episode. The CYL podcast next month. You do not want to miss out. So make sure you subscribe.
Yes, we have some very special plans, all things aligning, please, that you definitely don't want to miss out. So yeah, be sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that jazz, not only to my channel, but to Oblivion and Joel's channel as well. The link will be in the description down below. And yeah, we're super excited. Any final thoughts before we sign off?
Use Seliph. He's cool.
Yes.
Buckle in. There will be the wave of hype will go back and forth a million times. Like this is the fun part. So yeah, get ready.
August is always the super hype moment of FaZe, and yeah, super excited for that. But yeah, let us know down in the comments what your what you were most excited for this past month. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all have an amazing rest of the day, and see you all next time. Bye everyone.
Catch you later.
Okay, I guess Joel's not gonna say bye. Okay, I see how it is. No, just kidding.
Oh God, I completely forgot. I was looking at the record times. I always have this moment where right as you're about to say bye, I'm supposed to hit end on the record, and I immediately go for the hang up button instead. And anyway, it has been such a long week.
That was amazing.
Yeah.